And hi, everybody. Welcome to the Aaron Katzman Facebook Live show, where we speak about your life, your money, and your investments. We got a good show today, an interesting topic that I'd like to speak about. But before then, if you got any questions or comments, feel free to email me at Aaron, Aaron, at Lighthouse with an L, lighthousecapital.co.il. That's Aaron at lighthousecapital.co.il. You can check me out on the web at www.aaronkatzman.com. That's aaronkatzman.com. Obviously on Facebook. You can sign up to all my videos and podcasts and stuff on YouTube as well. So what I'd like to speak about is something that's been in the news recently over the last week or so in the Jewish news, and that's that there appears to be a potential surge in Aliyah. Aliyah obviously being people who come to live and move from abroad to live in Israel. It started about a week or two ago when Jewish agency head Isaac Herzog came out and said he expects 100,000 new Olim to come to Israel over the next year or two. And then I was listening to an interview with the head of Nefesh B'Nefesh, Rabbi Yoshua Fass. I think it was on the Nachum Siegel show. And he spoke about that he believes those numbers are true and that how his organization has seen a surge in new applications and new interest into Aliyah. And they've been doing some like Zoom videos and stuff, and the interest is off the charts. And, you know, it's great that everybody wants to come and live here. But before you come to live in Israel, there are also financial implications and things that you have to think about doing. So that's what I'd like to speak about just for a few minutes. Obviously, it's a much more complex issue. And if you got any questions about it, you know, I've been here for a long time and I've helped, I don't know, hundreds, if not thousands of Olim financially. So feel free to reach out to me. You know, I'd be happy to help you on a personal or individual level. The first thing that you need to think about when you come is that you're no longer living abroad, which means that when it comes to your budgeting and your expenses and your income, everything is probably going to change rather dramatically from the way that things are set up for you financially currently, right? A new job might mean less pay, depending on what you're in, right? What field you're in might mean more pay. Things in Israel tend to be, while certain things tend to be much more expensive than they are in most places abroad, the big ticket items, i.e. education, healthcare, are significantly less. So overall, you can probably end up spending a lot less money than you spend abroad. So what you need to do as a first step, there's some good resources out there, right? The Nefesh B'Nefesh website, I think, has some resources. And it pays to speak to people who are here already, friends of yours who live in Israel. There's some Facebook groups out there also where you can post and get a real feeling about how much approximately you're going to need to budget to live here on a monthly basis. Now, obviously, don't be a hero, right? People say, oh, I can, you know, an Israeli family of 14 spends $1,500 a month. Well, that's not you if you're coming from the five towns, right? So you have to be very, very realistic. Not only be realistic, I would overly shoot, right? If you think that you can live on $4,000 a month, I would make that $5,000 a month, because there are all kinds of things which are going to happen setting up your home and what have you, which are obviously cost money. And there might be some one day again when we're allowed to go back on airplanes post-corona, and when people actually feel comfortable on airplanes. I'm sure that day will come. I'm not one of these one of the naysayers who think the world has changed forever. I think we're actually going to get back to things quicker than most people think. But that means you're probably, if you make Aliyah, you're probably still going to have family in the States or wherever you're coming from, right? North America, Europe. And that would mean as well that you're going to want to travel and see them occasionally. Now, another issue, so budgeting is a real big issue. Obviously, housing, where you're going to live. Again, you're going to speak to friends. You're going to get a sense of certain communities. I strongly urge you not to buy any property for the first year or two, even that after your Aliyah, so that your family can get settled, that you can feel the community, if that's a community which is ripe for you to live long term, or if you've got to make a move somewhere else. So the smartest thing to do is probably to rent at the beginning, certainly. For families who come, it's important to focus on the financial side because too often it gets lost. Why? Because you're busy setting up your family, right? Which means getting your kids set up in school, in a foreign school system. Trust me, foreign is like has double meaning, right? Foreign and foreign. It's not at all what you're used to, coming from wherever it is you're coming from. It is a different system. And you're going to put lots and lots of time and energy into that. And because of that, there is often happens is that people's money and financial issues move to the side. So we're speaking about financial planning for those who are thinking of moving to Israel, because the numbers are indicating that we are expecting a surge in Aliyah. You're watching actually the Aaron Katzman Facebook Live show. I'm your host. I'm Aaron Katzman. I'm a financial professional here in Israel. I'm a licensed advisor in America, and I'm a financial professional as well as in Israel. And if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to email me at Aaron, AARON, at Lighthouse with an L, lighthousecapital.co.il. Obviously, you found me on Facebook. You can check out my website at www.aaronkatzman.com. Feel free to subscribe on my YouTube channel as well. That'll also help, and you'll be kept up to date with all the content. So we're speaking again, the headlines have been fast and furious about a potential surge in Aliyah post-corona. Why? That's the reasons for that are probably a different show in of themselves. But what is important is to get your finances in order if you're going to be coming here. Excuse me. I'm sort of addicted to coffee. The last thing I'd like to speak about is obviously your investments. Now, I'm not going to speak about individual securities or anything like that. What I want to tip you off to is an issue many Olim, both old-time Olim, which are called Vatikim, or newly minted Olim are having. And that's that since the Patriot Act went into law years ago, gosh, it's a long time ago, it's been more difficult for Americans who live abroad to continue to hold their U.S. brokerage accounts, their investment accounts with many U.S. firms. If you're going to come, you should probably speak to your firm to see if they will continue to service you while living in Israel. And if not, you should reach out to somebody like yours truly. But there are other people like me. Okay, this is informational. It's not just to sell you something. That's not what it's about. But there are reputable, licensed, and I urge licensed, right? Because there are a lot of people who are living in Israel who are sort of flying under the radar, and they're not licensed in Israel, and they're not licensed in the U.S. as well. And there are those of us and others, right? I stress others who are both licensed by the Israel Securities Authority in Israel and in the United States, which is better for you, obviously, to work with reputable licensed firms who are playing by the regulatory rules. There are firms who will be able to handle your account, who can work with expat Americans. So that's something to look into, because oftentimes people come and it's not on their radar screen at all, and all of a sudden, they're stuck, and they call their advisor, even with an online firm, right? They try to put in a trade, and then they get frozen out of their account, and they can't even transfer money. It's a big issue. So it behooves you, if you're planning on making Aliyah and you have an investment portfolio, to speak to your firm to see if they will continue servicing you. And if they do, will they continue full servicing you or give you certain services? There are firms who will let you buy certain securities, but not others. There are firms who will only let you sell. There are firms who will not let you transfer money electronically internationally. Each one of these issues presents its own set of complications, and it's better to have that sort of worked out before you come than when you hit the ground running. You come here, you land, and all of a sudden you need money and you're totally stuck. So as again, as advice, I strongly urge you to speak to your firm, see what they say. If they don't, again, myself and others, there are a few more people here in the country who work with expats who now live abroad, who live in Israel, who live wherever else, and it probably behooves you to contact them. That you've been listening to the Aaron Katzman Show. You've been watching. Why don't I even say that? You've been watching. I'm not used to this Facebook Live platform. Okay, I'm all over social media, as we've discovered, right? I'm used to podcast. I'm using the radio. Okay, I used to be on pirate radio, for those of you who don't know, at an old station here in Israel called Radio West. But I digress. You've been watching the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. We speak to you about your life, your money, and your investments. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to email me at Aaron, A-A-R-O-N, at Lighthouse with an L, lighthousecapital.co.il. That's Aaron at lighthousecapital.co.il. Or you can check me out on the web at www.aaronkatzman.com. That's aaronkatzman.com. Obviously, you have found me on Facebook Live. Twitter, you can find me, same name. And new to the social media juggernaut that we're creating, you can subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I welcome all of you who are thinking about Aliyah. Feel free to reach out to me. You can private message me. You can email me. I'll be happy to help. As we like to do here, we like the more the merrier to come and move to Israel. Thanks for watching.